Hey everybody, welcome to the Good Game Geeks podcast. I am your host Brutus, and join with me as always is the one, the only, Onyx_Snooze-a-lot, also known as Snooze.
What's
Say
up?
hello, people.
What's up?
Welcome, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Kind of an off-cadence podcast for us, because only 4 days ago we had our pre-show podcast. But there is so much to talk about now that E3 has come to a close. We had to come at you one more time with a special post-E3 show. So it's going to run a little bit differently today because there is so much to go over and so much to talk about. We are not going to be playing a game while live streaming this podcast. We're just going to be talking about it. So I'm going to be a lot more interactive with chat, and we're going to be talking back and forth with you guys on what your overall thoughts and impressions were of the show. And as they said in the EA press conference to kick it off, this will be free. I had to get that out there. I thought that was great.
I love it.
So, welcome again, guys, and we really hope that if you haven't seen our previous podcast, you'll look us up on SoundCloud and iTunes under Good Game Geeks, where you can find a lot of our previous recordings. But with that said, let's get into the topic at hand.
Yeah.
Snooze E3 has come and gone. What do you think?
In the blink of an eye, man.
It was, too.
It was crazy. I have so many games. I feel that I've just been so bombarded with information the last 4 days that I haven't slept well. Like, just so much to think about, and we got so much awesome gameplay, so much like good / disappointing / all forms of news from, our favorite game companies. Overwhelming, but in a fun way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And E3 every year seems to just be getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Like, the creep is happening.
Yeah.
It used to be, Monday, Tuesday, and then they crept up into Sunday, and now this year also on Saturday. So I don't understand why they continue to throw more and more information at us, because, man, it can be overwhelming.
It really can. I just want to know that I think it's really cool that they opened it up on the weekend, because it was so much easier to watch a conference on the weekend.
That's very true.
So much easier. Like, I mean, no one can catch a Ubisoft conference that plays at 1 p.m. Eastern on a Monday. People work. Kids go to school. Kids go to, wherever kids go during the summer. Like, we don't have time to watch this during the day. So we're all stuck watching recaps. So it was nice. It was refreshing to be able to watch, Microsoft and EA in, just a Saturday, Sunday afternoon lounge type way. It was nice.
Totally.
Yeah.
So the first conference of the E3 in general that really didn't happen at E3,
That's
happened
true.
in Hollywood, as we discussed earlier, was the EA podcast.
That's
now,
true.
we discussed, the EA presentation, the press conference.
Yeah.
We discussed it earlier on our pre-show because we recorded our pre-show right after that EA press conference.
Yeah.
And we talked kind of at length about a lot of that. So we won't be talking too much about EA, but I wanted to touch on some stuff again because...
Just the highlights.
Yeah, and honestly, looking back at E3, EA was one of the top press conferences for me now. And that's such a low bar.
That's what we said. That's what we said last podcast, too. We were like, so EA started off, guys, bars really low, and we're expecting everyone to, blow EA and play out of the water, but it was pretty good.
Yeah, turned out to be one of the more solid presentations. So they definitely didn't bring much newness to the table because sports. Hey, did you guys know EA makes sports?
No.
Yeah, sports.
I just want to throw that out there. They didn't showcase NHL. I'm saying that because I'm Canadian, so I noticed these things.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. With the last couple of NHL games,
okay.
they're just not great.
Okay.
They're just not great games.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah. But, I mean, they showed a lot of Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Oh my god. Like the pew pew pew.
Hour.
Yeah. Pew 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 pew.
It was everywhere. Yeah. And like we said, I think they're definitely building on a solid foundation. While the original missed the mark in a lot of ways, I do think they have something to work with. So hopefully that they can go forward and build upon that and make a really great story-driven game and actually give us true story content that was missing from the first one.
As long as it feels like an actual Star Wars Battlefront game and it doesn't just feel like Battlefield, I'm cool. It's the first one that was my main complaint. It's like, I just kind of want to go play Battlefield. I mean,
right.
It's Battlefield just felt, smoother and like they put more energy into it than Star Wars Battlefront. But this one, I mean, all sights are completely set for EA on Battlefront 2. So I'm sure it's going to feel a lot better. I'm hopeful.
It has to be. I mean, it has to be more than Battlefield Star Wars Edition.
Yeah.
It's got to be.
Oh,
and then we had that quick 30-second teaser on Anthem, which we'll definitely get more into later. Yes. But Anthem is shaping up to be one game that I'm going to be keeping a close eye on. So really excited about that.
Yeah, definitely.
For me, overall thoughts of EA, I mean, it wasn't this mind-blowing presentation, but they got through it without any technical glitches. They had some goofy dudes in blazers, but, they put together a presentation that was fun, that was engaging, that gave us details of the games that we wanted to see. It gave us a real in-depth look at the biggest game they have to offer, and teased us on a brand new IP, which is more than we can say for most of these damn press conferences.
Yeah, I mean, we complain a lot because it was like all sports and stuff. But I thought that overall, once you look back on all of them, I find that EA had the most simple yet diverse portfolio of games that they showcased. They had their little indie game, the Prison Escape game made by the same developers.
A Way Out, that's
Tale of Two Sons, yeah. So they had that. They had their Need for Speed. They had all their sports. They had their shooter. They had their new announcement. So I think that overall, they actually touched base in a lot of the main categories. So it was, looking back on some others that did not do that, it was actually pretty good.
Yeah, totally.
So yeah. And that dude. You remember that dude? That was so cringe for me. That guy that looked completely stoned that was presenting for Need for Speed.
Yeah, that was definitely the low point of their show. But honestly, okay, guys, I'll be honest and upfront. This was a disappointing E3 for me. I'm gonna just say it now.
Spoiler.
I'm not a Debbie Downer type of guy, but I felt this E3 left a lot to be desired.
Yeah.
There were some high points. There's a lot of stuff I'm excited about, so I'm totally gonna get hyped for a lot of different games. But this one kind of missed the mark for me. So if the stoned presenter for EA is the biggest worry that they had, then EA did pretty good comparatively, right?
Oh, man. So. Okay, for the record, guys, me and Brutus, we have not talked. The last time we talked about E3 together was on the last podcast, so I have no idea what he thinks of all the conferences.
Yeah.
So this is really exciting for me.
This is completely without preparation. We just had to get together and put this podcast together for you guys.
We're totally winging this one, so it should be interesting.
Sparks might fly. We normally agree on a lot of stuff. We might have some arguments on things today. We'll see.
But we can agree that guy was stoned as fuck.
Totally. So after that, what was next? Was it was Microsoft, then Bethesda, right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I forgot how the date went. I missed both of them live, and I went back and had to watch the YouTubes. I was working that night. So that brings us to the Microsoft press conference.
So our predictions, right? What are our predictions for Microsoft? Just so we kind of go back and see how accurate we were.
They were going to name it the Xbox Scorpio, and they were going to price it at $499.
Okay.
We were pretty much locked in an agreement in that.
You're pretty
good.
So
just right off the bat, we had the price nailed, 100%. They named it the Xbox One X. What are your thoughts on the name, Snooze?
On the name? First of all, the size is amazing. Thank God we are going back to small consoles, because the big shit bricks, my PC is big enough. I want to be able to just kind of nicely put the rest one next to another, Yeah. So I really, really appreciate the size of this baby. I find it looks great and simple. No?
My big concern was that with the console being so small in and of itself, that they would maybe be bringing back the power brick. So I had to go and look that up myself, but I did find that it was confirmed there is no power brick to it as well, even though it is the smallest console that Microsoft has ever made. So I am so excited, just as you are, to get that really small footprint.
Yeah, because isn't it so it has an internal power supply, right? Mm-hmm. And it has liquid cooling inside too.
Yes,
which is
a really cool feature.
Yeah, I don't know much about PCs, but I know that is really cool, because our consoles are always melting. So I know that's a good thing.
Yeah, totally.
But
So before we get into like the presentation and the expectation of the Xbox One X, what did you think of the name?
At first the name, I had the big wave of disappointment. If you watch it back live, it's like, oh, all right. It could have been much worse.
I agree. Yeah. So I'm not mad about the name at all, to be honest, because I feel it accomplished a lot of things, right? They had to make it clear that this is not a brand new console. So to actually look back and name it the Xbox Scorpio, that could have caused some confusion. They're keeping it in line. It is an Xbox One, just like the Xbox One S is an Xbox One. So this is a variation, a much more powerful version of the original Xbox One, but it is still an Xbox One. So in this naming sequence that they came up with, I think they did a really good job of elevating it above the family of consoles that it's around, but while still making it clear that this is not a new console that only new games are going to be developed for and all of this junk. So when I thought about it, I thought they actually pretty much nailed it.
They actually sold it differently. They sold it in a very nice, clean way. You know, I'm someone who's in marketing, right? So I appreciate when they give a nice, clean, smooth conference and they use words like consumer and like customer focus and like creativity and innovation. Like I just suck all those words up because I'm a big marketing geek. But like, so I thought their whole conference was very clean. It was very well done. There was very little flaws. And when they're presenting the X1X, they sold it as a family, which I was not expecting. I was expecting them to just sell this brand new monster crazy shit of a console, but they really sold it as an extension to the family. So it really is sold as an improvement on the existing Xbox One. So now we have 3 consoles in this family. We have the Xbox One, we have the Xbox One Slim, and we have the Xbox One X. So I immediately went straight to like iPhone. They're just, I mean, they're copying the greatest innovators in the world right now, which is, I mean, try and, you know, lie to me that it's not Apple right now. So it's true. So they're definitely going down that route of just keeping one successful family and then branching it out. So you're going to have the basic one, you're going to have the more powerful version, and you're going to have like the little itty bitty version.
Yep.
So I think it's really interesting. It's a very interesting way of doing it and selling it as a family, kind of giving us, the consumers, the players, a little more options depending on what we want. So it's nice. And I mean, I'm transitioning here, but like the fact that everything is backwards compatible again and your library carries over, that, like when they said that, it's like this wave of relief just kind of like overwhelmed me. Like, thank God.
Totally.
I hate like starting fresh on a new console and having a feeling like I just bought this, you know, $600 console with accessories and everything, and I can play 2 fucking games on it.
Right.
I hate that feeling. I hate it. So this is nice.
And the pricing I think was great. $499 is a good price for that console. If they were going to $399, again, as we talked about, they would have had to have made sacrifices on the hardware front to make that price work. Phil Spencer has already done an interview with Giant Bomb and has confirmed that they are not making a dime on the Xbox One X. It costs $499 to manufacture per console, and they are selling it to consumers at cost. So I thought that was an awesome strategy for Xbox because, you know, you sell the box at cost and you make money on the software, right? Like that's traditionally been the MO for gaming companies throughout up until this generation. And I'm glad that they got back to that.
I mean, we tell all our customers that we're giving them the best possible cost as well. I mean, there's no way to really validate if that's true, is there?
True. I mean, I think they could probably, like, if they went in and, you know, costed out the specs of what is actually going into that console. He's on record for saying it now. Somebody somewhere is going to get into the tech and see how much that tech costs per part, and they'll figure it out. So I have to imagine that if he goes on record like that and is lying about it, and I also, at this point, I trust in Phil Spencer enough to take him at his word to where I think that probably is the case.
Yeah.
Because I know that was not a claim that they made for the Xbox One when it originally
that
launched.
Is true.
That it was selling at cost. They never went and said that. which is evidenced now at the $249 price point. If they can clearly get away with selling it at $250, they were making some damn money off the $500 day one box.
Yeah, but that's why I find it interesting because, I mean, we all know that we're going to have, like, a holiday sale promotion, and we're going to have, like, a spring sale promotion, and all these things, and it's still going to be, like, you know, $25-$50 off here and there.
Yeah, of course.
So, you know, I'm sure there's a little margin here and there.
There might be some wiggle room.
Yeah. They have privacy contracts with the suppliers and stuff. So, so there's got to be some wiggle room. But I'm sure that they're selling it pretty close to what what cost is.
At the very least, at a much lower margin than the original Xbox One.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I doubt if it's this powerful that it is actually ever going to go to, like, $250, like we're seeing in the Xbox One right now. Yeah, like, totally. Maybe you're going to get, at some point, you know, $100 off is going to become, like, the new price point, but I don't think it'll be ever more than that. Speaking
of the price point, I think maybe you can speak to this or attest to this. Most everyone in Canada breathed a collective sigh of relief that it was only $5.99 Canadian.
Yeah.
They were concerned that at a $4.99 price point, they might have been like a $6.49 or a $6.99 Canadian price point. So I think that was something that kind of worked out as well. I saw in chat earlier that it's $4.99 UK as well, which does suck for UK really bad.
That's true. I mean, okay, so for the Canadian dollar, I mean, it's 33% over, right? Yeah. So, I mean, we're already above $500. We should be
about 600 above.
Yeah, we should be like above $600. So the fact that it's $5.99 is like, oh, where did that come from? Not to mention, like, our games are more expensive and stuff because the whole exchange thing is completely screwing us over right now. Like, if I want to buy a game, it's like $85 right now.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's like $79.99, $84.99 for baseline games. So it's pricey. I just wish they increased my salary by 33% as well. That would be great. And then everything's cool.
Awesome. Oh my gosh. So yeah, more to come on the Xbox One X. Definitely. Yeah. I mean, most of the games that we're going to see made it a point specifically to say that it was optimized for the Xbox One X with a few notable exceptions that we'll get to later that piss me off. But getting into their games conference, they led right away with the exclusives, right? Like, we saw Forza 7 right out of the gate. And my, oh my, did it look beautiful.
It did.
That is a game that I love the Forza series. I don't care if it's Forza Motorsport or if it's Forza Horizon. I think they're fantastic games. They really capture what it is you want out of a racing sim while giving you these just beautiful cars and gorgeous vistas and lush greenery and down to the very detail of the tracks that you're racing on. That team is always, I believe Turn 10 Studios has always done an excellent job. I'm super looking forward to Forza.
I feel, again, cars, bad combo. But every time I see every year I feel like I'm equally impressed as the year before whenever I see like a Forza reveal, because every time it's like, this looks so fucking clean and the weather effects look so fucking good. But I feel like every year for the last like 6 years I've been having the same reaction, and every year awesome. It seems the same way as me. The same way as me. That sentence made no sense. It looks the same to me.
Right. Here. Gotcha.
Do you find the whole revealing a car on stage getting a little old though?
That was so dumb. Like I don't really care about that. Like, also, exactly. This is a gamers conference. It's a gamer press conference. Some of us are car enthusiasts, totally. But those circles don't overlap 1-to-1. So the whole car reveal, you're hitting the mark on maybe like 10% of your audience at best.
Yeah.
So I think that was just, honestly, if Porsche paid to do that, that was a waste of their money, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, there was a lot of that this year, right? I mean, say example when they brought out Battlefront. I mean, you know, people like Star Wars, so they had some stormtroopers on stage. They had more of that than they usually did.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And you know, it went all the way to having dead body circus acts on stage.
Yeah,
but we'll get to that later.
That was interesting. That was definitely interesting.
Oh, interesting's a good word. We'll get there.
So I definitely, I'm excited for Forza to come out. I do really enjoy hitting every tree possible. I somehow still usually win the races, so I don't know. I like trees, and trees like me back.
Tree hugger.
Then another one of our predictions, which really can't even qualify as a prediction, was Assassin's Creed Origins.
Oh yeah, hey, good call. Good call, man.
Totally leaked. But some of the details we actually joked about were in-game. I specifically mentioned instead of eagle vision, you're going to get a real eagle. That totally happened. Love that.
It's true that they probably pulled that from Far Cry Primal. Someone was mentioning, because that's exactly what you do in Far Cry Primal. You like take the vision of the eagle, and then the eagle can like swoop down and attack. So like legit the exact same thing.
Yeah, no, exactly. I just cracked up that happened. And then set in ancient Egypt is supposed to be the true origin story of the Assassin's Guild. Obviously, we knew that was coming.
Yeah.
But it looked damn good. It definitely looked like they made some changes to the franchise. A year off, I think, really helped.
I think it did. I think that we'd all been kind of sick of the repetitive kind of style and the repetitive gameplay that it had. Sure, it was in different eras with different main guys and just obviously improved from one game to another. But I think that the year off really was good to them because it let them, take a step back, kind of reinvent where there were critical flaws on the game, kind of reinvent gameplay, focus on making it smoother and everything. And I think it actually looked good, and they're bringing some like RPG elements to it,
Yes.
Like you can pick up rare weapons and you can like equip stuff in weapon slots. I think that's actually pretty cool.
And they specifically spoke to that being a focus for this game for the very first time, which I thought was great.
That's very cool.
To me, that probably does mean that, unfortunately, the fetch quests will continue, and Assassin's Creed already had a lot of those to begin with, and those escort missions and stuff like that. So, I mean, I hope that those are at least limited and the quest lines are more varied than we've had in the years past. But just from that first glimpse, I definitely was excited for Assassin's Creed in a way that I haven't been in a long time.
Same. I think it looked badass. The riding the horse looked very good. In Assassin's Creed games, I've always been kind of frustrated with the horse riding. Very few games I actually enjoy the horse riding because it's that and swimming. Just so much trouble with it across all types of games. I think his sword looks badass, dude. Like the Medjai sword. Oh,
that was
I can't wait to slice up some dudes with that.
So did we get a release date for Assassin's Creed? Was it October?
I don't know, but I mean I'm guessing October and November.
Right, yeah. The usual cadence for the Assassin's Creed games.
So yeah, I'm excited for it.
What else jumped out at you in the Microsoft conference? I've got a few more that I want to talk about, but what's on your mind?
Well, we got a little bit more of Anthem, so maybe we can talk a bit more about Anthem right now.
Yep.
It looks really cool. I mean, I'm really curious to see just how open world it is, but it starts off where you're walking through like this market, right? Mm-hmm. So if anyone's played Destiny, this market is actually the social space. So this market is actually like your Destiny tower.
Yep.
So I think that's really cool. I think it's a really more believable concept than the tower in Destiny, where it's just, it makes no sense that these people live here. We're just at the top of a tower. Why are they here 24/7? But if you're in like this lively market, I think it's really cool. I think the 4-person co-op looks very interesting. I saw some pictures of the potential armor pieces. Yep. It looks amazing. The flying looks really cool. And when they just dove down and he was suddenly underwater, I'm like, oh my god, we're gonna like go hunting with buddies with jetpacks underwater fighting monsters. Yes. Anyways,
clearly some class system elements in play as well, like they showed on the trailer initially, and like was on the website. It looks like there's that basic warrior class, that potential like magic warlock type of class, and your kind of sniper-esque long shot class. So I am really excited, and it's BioWare. I mean, they don't generally miss the mark on their games.
It is BioWare. So a lot of people, I don't know what you think. A lot of people are calling it the Destiny killer. Now, before I give my opinion, I want to know what you think about that term.
That's the way I described it when we talked about it on the pre-show right after the EA podcast, right? Or the EA press conference. I don't know that that's their intention. I think a lot of people might see it that way. But I think it's more inspired by that Destiny style of play than anything. I don't think that there necessarily can only be one.
Exactly.
But it definitely is going to give some options, and I can clearly see the parallels, and I think that's what people are so attached to.
Yeah, I think it's because we're just seeing so many elements in common. We saw one ship in the background that kind of had a small symbol on it, so you got the impression that maybe that was going to be like a big raid or like a type strike type thing that you would do in teams, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of comparable elements. That they're calling it the social space.
Yeah.
You know that you're going to have classes. Overall, I mean, it looks really cool. I agree with you that there cannot only be one. I think that the Destiny genre is its own thing. It's not quite an MMO. It's not quite a shooter. It's kind of in between both. It's got a bit of everything. It's got a bit of raids. It's got some co-op strikes. It's got hopefully more story in the next one.
Agreed.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if it's going to have multiplayer, though.
Now, what?
Anthem, sorry, I totally, changed your train of thought.
Oh, you're, player versus player? PvP multiplayer?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You said multiplayer, and I was like, wait, you mean just in general?
Yeah, no, sorry, I meant, PvP. Where you been? Wake up.
No, yeah, like a PvP multiplayer, God, I mean, they kind of have to. In this day and age, it's an auto-include, I think. As much as some of them feel like just a tacked-on experience, I think it's got to be there.
Yeah.
Some of the things I wanted to compare between that and Destiny, though, Anthem is on that Frostbite engine, which means on the Xbox One X, in 4K, on that Frostbite engine, I don't care how good Destiny looks. They've already said it's not going to be optimized for the Xbox One X. It's going to be on level playing field with whatever the PS4 Pro is going to accomplish.
Wait, Destiny or Anthem?
Destiny will not be optimized, but Anthem is. And it's on the better engine. In 4K, it will blow away what Destiny brings to the table visually.
Oh, yeah,
I
for
think.
sure.
It is going to be one beautiful game.
Yeah, I think so as well. Definitely. Not to mention, by then it's coming out in fall 2018. So by then, they would have been able to learn again on the sequel kind of the flaws of Destiny and heard from their community what they wanted out of the game that they didn't get. So they'll have time to tweak that. 2, I mean, if ever there is some hiccups with the Xbox One X, well, that would have been passed 1 year later by the time it comes out.
Launch of a new system is to be expected, so that's why giving them a year I think is great.
Yeah, no, I think so. I think they're going to be able to tweak it and really have time to adapt it as best as possible to this new beast.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Moving on from Anthem, couple of games that people might have heard of. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. It's coming to Xbox One X exclusively.
Yeah.
And that was an awesome grab for Microsoft because that is a game that has a rabid following right now. And it's actually going to have a couple of things that the PC version doesn't, like motorcycles and the ability to control them in the air and all of this craziness going on. They actually brought out, I can't remember the fella's actual name, just that he's PlayerUnknown, onto the stage to talk about what that development was like and what that game is going to be for the Xbox One X. So, did they give us a release date on it, or did they just say early 2018?
Okay, so let me back up a bit. When you say exclusively on the X1 X, so it's not going to PlayStation at all?
It is not going to the PlayStation at all.
Oh, dude, that's going to hurt.
Yes.
It's going to hurt a lot.
Yes.
That game is the second most streamed game on Twitch.
Yes.
All the time now.
That is obviously a console exclusive because it's on PC, but yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting. Finally, we're getting some stuff that can, fight back PlayStation's babiness lately.
Right, yes.
Yeah.
And to Tixter's point, it will be exclusive to Xbox One, Xbox One S, and Xbox One X. It will be on that entire family, not just simply the One X. That's a great call out.
Because we don't have any games that were announced exclusive to the X.
And I don't think that that's honestly the intention.
So I think that's cool.
Yeah. And that's why they're marketing it as this family and not this new system.
Yeah.
I really think that whatever game you have is going to be playable on any of those 3 consoles, and I think that is an amazing strategy for them to not have
It is.
X specific titles.
Exactly. Like, not forcing people to upgrade, because, forcing people to upgrade might just force people to move to the console that's going to have those games anyways, right? So people might go, it's going to be cheaper for me to buy a PS4 and play it on PS4 than to upgrade to the newest Xbox system.
Right, yeah.
So that's smart thinking.
Yes.
Really was. Yeah.
So there's that. There's State of Decay 2, my personal favorite of the Microsoft conference.
Oh, yeah?
It's a game that I get hyped about. I feel that State of Decay 2, or State of Decay is a lot like Star Wars Battlefront in that there was something there that truly, in my eyes, was a magical foundation that they maybe didn't nail the first time around. But State of Decay 2 is going to have multiplayer. It's going to have more story mode. It is going to have a chance to build upon that foundation that hooked me into that type of game. Because I'd never played one of those styles of games that was really truly built around resource gathering, base building, and missions like that. And it wasn't a complicated game. There wasn't a lot of quest variants at all. But now being able to just do that with my buddies alone, just adding multiplayer to the original State of Decay, I'd have been fine. Making a full-blown sequel, I'm all about it.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to fix the camera.
Oh, no. What's wrong with my camera?
I don't know, bro.
Which is weird, because I'm not frozen on Skype.
No, you're not frozen. It's just stuff. There you go.
Hi, guys. We're back, I think.
It's okay. We were never gone.
Yeah.
You're good. They still heard you, though, so it's all good.
Beautiful. That's what mattered.
State of Decay did look good. I'm not gonna lie, because it's gonna be co-op this time, right?
Yes, full-blown multiplayer.
Yeah, I think the way that they kind of presented it in a more tower defense fashion looked very cool. How they showed like the decisions that you're gonna take in game on whether people survive or not, which was also in the first game, but they just seemed to build on it and improve it so much more. So I think it could be, I could enjoy it much more than I enjoyed the original if I'm playing with buddies. Again, playing solo, I don't know,
Right.
But playing with buddies, I can definitely see myself getting into this.
That game feels like it was made to play with friends. Like, absolutely.
That's great. Yeah. I agree. Some games I want to talk about.
Yes.
Life is Strange.
Yes, we're getting a prequel.
God. That was one of the surprises for me. The Life is Strange was announced recently. I mean, in the last few months, right? That we were going to get a prequel and a sequel. So I was not expecting anything yet, because that's still, in my mind, that was all still relatively new news. So I didn't think that they were far enough in development to be able to offer us a nice looking trailer. So when that came on stream, like the second I saw those sneakers in the corner of the room, they're just kind of like looking at different stuff. They showed one thing, and I think the second thing they showed was the sneaker, and I'm like,
that's it.
That's it. Oh, my baby. Oh, that's such a great series. Such a great series. So I'm very excited. And I think that was the one game that they announced that we're getting the soonest. Remember? We were all expecting available in the store right now.
That's right.
This is the one that we're getting like August 1st or end of August, somewhere in August we're getting it. So this is the earliest game that we're getting. Which brings me to further my next one, which is semi-disappointment, semi-finally, just Cuphead, which we talked about.
Yeah. Totally. ID at Xbox honestly ruled this presentation.
They always do.
Did. Yeah, they really did.
Honestly, ID at Xbox games, they're often my highlight for the E3. Since we've had the ID at Xbox thing the last few years, it's always one of my highlights. Just the music, for one, that they always choose as the background for these indie games. It's always the music that's like exciting, and then it transitions into like a slower paced, emotional type vibe for the slower like feels games, and then they transition into like a bigger indie game, which was in this case our sequel to Ori and the Blind Forest,
which
Ori and the
I
Will Wisps.
called Boys and Girls.
True. I did not think it was gonna happen. That's true. So you win.
Just that one.
Head down.
It looks beautiful. It looks as beautiful as the first, and more Ori is good. Period.
Yes,
Make the same game with a new story. I'm fine with it.
I agree. Absolutely. No, it's gonna be great. Again, the second that you saw that come on screen, you knew exactly what it was. I was like pre-crying when I saw the little white dude, or like when I saw the owls. I just, little bubbles. Oh man! But everything that they presented and kind of that ID at Xbox showcase, a lot of stuff looked really good. I can't remember the names of most of the ones that looked really interesting to me. But a lot of them did. I mean, we're getting Conan Exiles.
Yes.
That's going to be cool. A lot of PC games are coming over.
Trailer I'm watching right now as you say that. That's funny.
Oh, are you watching the dong slider?
Yeah.
I wonder if so Xbox is a family console, right?
Yes.
You think they're going to have like the dick size thing?
I don't know.
It's a legit question. That is the biggest buzz around this damn game is the dick slider.
I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be in.
Oh man, there's gonna be. I'm so not excited for the day that game launches or comes into the preview program or whatever it's gonna be on Xbox, because my feed is gonna be filled with penis.
Yep.
So not looking forward to it.
100%.
That's not true. I am, but I am not. Anyways. See myself streaming. Guys, check out my feed. Anyways, so we're getting that game, Path of Exile. We knew that was coming too, so that's pretty exciting. I'm kind of looking at some of the indie titles right now.
There was a couple of battle royale inspired as like Battlegrounds has become bigger. Like that Darwin project, I believe, was one of those games. It's kind of an animated battle royale. That one, the Darwin Project, is actually one of the first things that made me kind of jealous of Mixer. Oh, okay.
Because I don't know.
Yeah, there's so much interactivity. That's right.
I don't know if it's going to be exclusive to Mixer streaming or if it's going to be Twitch integrated as well. Because we do have some Twitch integrated games right now. Right. So this one is obviously, I mean, they were showcasing kind of Mixer, and when they were showing the Battle Royale, they said, oh, someone in chat just gave him a shield that's going to help him. That can, like, completely change a Battle Royale, right?
Absolutely.
It can completely change it. So I don't know if that's just there to kind of push the co-op streaming aspect of Mixer, or if it's really going to be, like, streaming integrated in general. If it's just Mixer, then I will be jealous. Why you do this to me? But I get it. It's a good move.
I mean, I get it, but I also think it's just so cool. It's so innovative that we are doing that, and that so many more games are leaning in. Because like you said, we've had a few. I mean, iDarb is the one that stands out like crazy because it's so ridiculously over the top for that stuff. But
dude,
so
getting
many more
Rick
games
rolled
are
was the
getting
best
into
in that game.
Say what?
Getting Rick rolled was the best in that game. Soon, guys, soon. One of these days, we're going to play iDarb while doing a podcast, and it's going to be the worst podcast ever, because we're going to be, like, yelling at each other so much.
Oh, God, yes. Oh, my God, yes. But a couple other games, like this Fifth Element-inspired game that I'm looking at right now, that was that kind of, like, 8-bit pixelated.
Yes.
He's running around in a flying car kind of deal. I don't even remember the name of it. It'll come up as this trailer comes through.
They showed 42 games.
Night.
It's normal that we don't remember a lot of stuff. They showcased 42 games.
Yep.
That is like triple what anyone else showcased in any of the other conferences.
42, and I think you said 22 of those were Xbox exclusive games, which is
because
awesome.
There's indies. There's a lot of indies in there.
Yeah.
Right? So I thought that was very cool. Yeah, so that pixelated one looks cool too. I'm curious about that Ashen game as well. We don't know too much about it, do we? Not really.
No.
I mean, it looks really pretty. It's kind of this dark and grayish type thing. I saw one of the devs tweet that for one, it's going to be on Unreal Engine, which is pretty cool. Microsoft is publishing it. It's going to be kind of this black and white sort of open world survival thingy. And people were saying that the more that they play it and they get into like testing of this game, it's feeling less and less like an indie and more like a AAA title because it's getting like bigger and bigger and more complex. So that's exciting.
Yeah.
So can't wait to hear more about that.
I mean, just overall, ID at Xbox, killed it.
It
Whether
really
it's
did.
indie titles and just the variants of games that are just so different. There's that rhythm-based platformer with the jumping around and the guitar that was so, what is the word? Like you're tripping on acid, basically. The Artful Escape is the name of that game. But yeah, it's just so weird and varied that they brought to the table was so cool.
Yeah.
What other games? Anything else that stuck out to you as far as games go?
Well, we got they opened it up. Didn't they open it up with Crackdown?
Ah, yes, that's
Crackdown
right.
3, that was a big one.
Yeah.
With Terry Crews. Oh, man. I love when Terry Crews is involved with anything. Like, anything, you know? When I heard that he might be voicing someone on Overwatch, I still don't know if that's rumor is true or not. I just like, it's just so exciting because I watch him in Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and he's just the funniest goddamn part of that show. It's
also a great show, period.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? The latest season's on
Yeah.
Netflix, guys. Go watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine. It's just like pure fun. It's hard not to laugh at that. Anyways, so yeah, Terry Crews, Crackdown 3. I've never played a Crackdown game. I don't know if you have.
I have. I played Crackdown 2. I never played the first one.
Okay.
Didn't grab me. And honestly, I know there's so much hype about Crackdown 3, but I think it's mainly because it's just been so long in development. I know it does kind of have that cult following, but
Yeah.
to me, it didn't really stand out. I'm not super excited for it. It's another great game for Microsoft because I don't know, is that an Xbox exclusive? I want to say that it is.
I think it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I remember seeing it last E3, and I remember being more excited when they showed Crackdown last E3 versus this E3.
Totally.
Like, this E3 I thought it was like, meh, but I remember the last year when they showed it, they were really selling the 100% destructible environments thing.
Yeah.
And you could like tear down an entire building with all the bullshit you can do in that game. And I was like, oh, that's really cool, but I don't know, I feel like they didn't sell it as well or didn't seem as intriguing to me as it did last year.
Mm-hmm.
So
And you want to know the main reason that I wasn't as excited about it this year as I was last year?
Why?
Last year, I was hearing about it for the first fucking time. This year, okay, cool. Crackdown 3. You're still working on that game? Great. Moving on.
Yeah.
That was all of E3 for me.
Well, going back to Cuphead, I mean, Cuphead was the same thing. They showed it and they were like, finally, guys, Cuphead is getting a release date. And
like,
it's not like a what? It's like a, all right.
Yeah. About time. Much like Sea of Thieves.
Yeah.
Same thing. Last year, seeing it for the first time looked awesome. This year, saw some more gameplay, looked great. But I'm like, can you release the damn game already?
Mm-hmm. Well, I've been playing Sea of Thieves, so I am excited for it. And it's going to be like really open world seas, you know? And the game looks really good. So I can understand if it's an open world experience and they have to test servers and stuff. You don't have any fucking servers to test in Cuphead.
Right.
Like you gotta have like a platformer, bosses, and a fun game and release it.
And a decent soundtrack.
Why have we been hearing about it for 3 years? Like what took so long? People were playing hands-on like at a fan expo in Canada like this year. Why has it still not been released? I don't understand. Like Sea of Thieves, I get it, you know?
Right. Yeah.
But I don't get Cuphead. I don't get why it took so long.
It's more for me like this year's E3 just felt like so much of, hey, here's the same game we showed you last year.
Yeah.
Or the year before.
I know.
And I'm like, the lack of new IP was just, it hurt. It really, overall, just wasn't there for me for the lack of innovation and new IP in this year's E3.
So is that disappointing for Xbox specifically for you, or just like from one conference to the other?
One conference to the other. I mean, I really feel like everyone was showing us games we've already seen multiple times.
Yeah.
I mean, God, Bethesda, I'm gonna punch you in the damn face.
Oh, Bethesda's next. Oh.
Yeah, can't wait.
But that's why I think Xbox's ID at Xbox was different, because it shows a bunch of new little games that we're seeing for the first time.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's why I appreciated it so much. Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. So as far as games go, I think that pretty much covers all the ones that I was talking about during the Microsoft. Was there anything else as far as games for you?
I mean, so yeah, we saw some Anthem. We saw a bit more of that. We saw a bit of more Middle-earth Shadow of War. And since I just started playing Mordor, I am particularly even more excited because I started playing Shadow of Mordor this week.
For the first time, I believe.
I started playing it right after the Xbox conference.
Yeah. There you go.
It's really fun, and I can only imagine what a better engine and more possibilities can do, just because like the orc ranking up system.
That Nemesis system is insane.
I know it's so original. I can't believe that no other, from my knowledge, no other games have really kind of exploited that system of an enemy kills you, he ranks up, and he's more badass.
Yep, I never would have thought it. I think when I was playing through the first time, I go, oh my god, this next year, this is going to be in every game. Like, this type of system is going to be everywhere, and it just wasn't. It hasn't been.
Yeah, and I'm surprised because it's so original. See more of it.
Yeah.
It's going to be good. So I'm particularly excited for that. Just going through the list here, I think that pretty much covers it. We talked a bit about everything. Hey, we didn't talk about Minecraft 4K. You want to talk about Minecraft 4K?
No.
Moving on, Bethesda.
So before we leave you off with Microsoft, they did drop us an awesome bit of news. Backwards compatibility.
Oh!
We're going back to the OG Xbox, guys. So that is awesome. There's a lot of classics that have not been experienced by so many people. And bringing it to the Xbox One is just so cool. So
I'm one of those people because they announced that and I was like, oh, that's really cool. A lot of people are going to be excited. But like I wasn't excited. And that was the benefit of kind of like hosting the E3 thing live with your community, right? Is then everyone in chat's like freaking out and they're like, they start listing all the games that you can play and they're like, oh, Snooze, you're going to be able to play Jade Empire. Oh, Snooze, you're going to be able to play Corridor 1 and 2. I'm like, yes. Holy fuck. And then I started freaking out, you know? Yeah. Because I never had an Xbox.
That was where my brain immediately went. I was like, Kodor, let's go. Let's do this.
Yeah, and I'm such like a BioWare slut that I'm going to be all over it, you know?
Right, yeah. Oh, my God. I mean, I am too. It was a great game the first time around. I'll happily play it again. There's so many OG Xbox games. I mean, you got to just think back to that era. Pretty much anything that you played on either PlayStation 2 or Xbox, there wasn't really that many console exclusives back in those days. So if you didn't play the OG Xbox but played PS2, a lot of those games had Xbox versions that you may be seeing showing up on the Xbox One.
Yeah.
The one thing that they did clarify later, and I think it was Mike Ybarra, also known as Quick, that he said that the backwards compatibility library definitely would not be as robust as the 360, which just makes sense. There's got to be some sort of hardware limitation to emulating those games because those systems are just so old and probably so different than what we're working with now on the Xbox One. And also, the original Xbox library just isn't as big as the 360, period. So the backwards compatibility is probably going to reflect that. But there's some classics that that was a surprise to me. That was a shock.
That was a really good surprise. Yeah. And I think anyone who wasn't that hyped about it, like this, you need to understand that this is a great place for them to test the waters, right? So they're going to test where people stand on these games. For example, you know, Jade Empire that hasn't gotten like a sequel, I believe, or stuff like that, right? This is going to be a great way to test what sales are going to be like on these older titles and how much people want to go back to those universes. So it's maybe going to, you know, get the thought process going like, oh man, if we make another one, people really enjoy this game, we can make a shit ton of money, you know?
Right.
So it's to everyone's benefit, and maybe they showcase Crimson Skies, so maybe there's another Crimson Skies in the works.
That was
right.
That was what my brain immediately went to. I was like, oh, they're probably working on another one of those.
Exactly. So it's a good thing, if not necessarily if you want to go back and play them, but for future of some series that never got revamped since. So it's gonna show them some new numbers. Definitely. So that's gonna be good. Free market data. Woo.
Right, there you go. So that wraps up Microsoft. Again, overall lack of new IP, I felt hurt it a little bit, but they did pretty okay. I definitely think ID at Xbox had a strong showing. I think watching it the very first night, I was harder on it because I had expectations of previous E3s, not so much comparing it to what the train wreck of other press conferences were this year. So I think of everyone, Xbox definitely had one of the stronger showings this year. I think,
I'm aligned with you there. I think it was great. I mean, you didn't finish the conference going like, like I was excited, you know.
Yeah.
There were some curveballs. It had a lot of kind of like curveballs here and there too, which I kind of liked. Not enough according to you, but
I definitely wanted to see some different things. Again, just new IP. I can't say that enough.
They're still
Show me
butthurt about
innovation.
Scalebound getting canceled, that's why.
Yeah,
They're like,
that
ooh, new
definitely
IPs, no, bad press.
Yeah. That definitely hurts because Scalebound was a game that, God, when you saw that first E3, what was it, 2 years ago? Or was it just last year? I loved the look of it.
Yeah.
So
let's talk about the Skyrim show.
Yes. So you guys like Skyrim? I hear it's coming out on a rock.
Microwave,
Yes.
Etch-a-Sketch, Tamagotchi.
Yep.
Does
it have batteries? It's going to play Skyrim. 100%.
You're gonna be able to, like, play Skyrim on your Apple Watch.
Oh, yeah, totally. It might just be like a clicker version of it, but, like, it's going to be Skyrim. And it'll play Dovahkiin over and over and over.
And over and over. Oh, God. So Bethesda.
We got The Evil Within 2, which was a kick-ass trailer. I thought that was super cool. It definitely grabbed my attention quite a bit.
I do not enjoy scary games at all. But when the Evil Within trailer played, it was a long trailer.
It really was.
It was like a mini cinematic experience, that trailer, and at that point, it was my favorite trailer to date.
Mm-hmm. Okay, wow.
Yeah. And there's no chance in hell of me actually playing that game. Like, ever. like, don't donate money or anything. Like, it's not fucking happening.
Yes.
Zero chance in hell. But
that is so good.
It was my favorite trailer. Because
so guys,
it was just a really cool cinematic experience. Yeah, you heard it here.
Donation goal for Snooze. Buy her Evil Within 2.
Nope.
She'll do it.
Nope.
She'll do it.
Nope.
We saw a little bit more about Doom.
Ah! Fuck off.
You wanted Doom 2.
No,
Did you get your wish?
I knew that... the chances of me getting Doom 2, what I say, like 4 out of 10?
Yeah, right.
I knew that we were getting Doom VR. I knew that we were getting Fallout VR. So that was no surprise.
Yep.
But, I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So...
Dishonored 2 expansion?
I think that was exciting for some people. If anyone was a fan of the Dishonored series, I think they were kind of excited. It wasn't clear what it was because it wasn't called Dishonored 2 something. It was just called what is it called? It's called Dishonored. I think it's just like a mini series or something.
It felt like almost like it could have been a standalone like 1999 story, right? Like a quick 4-hour story that they're telling in that Dishonored universe.
Mm-hmm.
So it's attached to it. Yeah, and I'm a big fan of the Dishonored series.
Yeah.
But when you're talking about like an expansion at E3 to Dishonored, when you have titles and things that people are hoping for and waiting for, like Skyrim on everything, and you choose to spend a lot of time talking about that. No offense to that game or those developers or the people that work their ass off on that. I just felt it was so out of place. And it was so not what the fans were wanting from Bethesda, that entire conference.
Like, did they not look at Twitter in the 6 months building up to the Bethesda conference? I think the Wolfenstein announcement was cool.
The trailer was great, yeah.
Yeah, I think that and Evil Within was undeniably everyone's highlight for the Bethesda conference. A lot of people are fans of the Wolfenstein series, pretty excited to get a new one there. It looked very interesting. That, I'm not gonna lie, it looked pretty cool.
But when you think of Bethesda, you don't think of The Evil Within or Wolfenstein. You just don't. So they missed the mark so bad, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, in your mind, you don't. And some people, Bethesda is, for some people, Bethesda is like Wolfenstein and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But obviously, all the Bethesda thought was that Bethesda equals Skyrim. Not Elder Scrolls.
Mm-hmm.
Skyrim. So...
Or that game that's 6 years old now, and we still don't have any even announcement of them working on a sequel.
6 years old, and it was the most talked about game across all E3 conferences.
Yep. Yep.
Anyways, I just felt...
Switch.
For Bethesda as a whole, I just felt like the entire conference was just a filler up until the Wolfenstein announcement.
Mm-hmm.
It just felt like we're going to have a conference... we're going to talk about Evil Within 2, which everyone kind of already knew was coming. Right. And the rest is just going to kind of be filler to kind of fill up time until we can show Wolfenstein and everyone can go, wow. So, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
100%.
So I thought
That's
their concept was cool. So leading up to it, I mean, we've been hearing about this Bethesda land thing for a while now, and you're like, oh man, they're actually making like a whole concept around their conference. You know, it's gonna be really cool. The showcase is gonna be neat. They're gonna like integrate the whole, you know, creepy area and like Doom area and like Elder Scrolls area of this imaginary Bethesda land. But no, it's just awkward transitions, and it didn't feel like the conference had a flow.
right.
It's just lacking so much chemistry.
Yeah,
As a conference.
Of course, they can't have this big thing for every part of Bethesda land. Like that can never be the expectation, and it was never mine. I know it was never yours, but I just don't feel that they did enough this year overall.
Are you just salty that they didn't announce Elder Scrolls 6?
No, truly, I'm really not. I was looking for something from them to get me excited about anything, and Evil Within 2 looks pretty cool. Wolfenstein looks pretty cool. Where's the new IP?
Yeah.
Where is a sequel to any of my favorite franchises? So they could have done Elder Scrolls 6. They could have said Fallout 5, even if it's like Fallout 5 2020. All right, cool.
Yeah.
But they're not working on anything new, and it's just like Bethesda as a company I hold in such a high regard in that respect, because
so close to my heart.
Yeah, they bring so much to the table, and even their sequels feel like new IPs. Like Oblivion to Skyrim, night and day. They changed so much. The systems in those games are so completely different. So much about that game you can't even tell, other than it being called Elder Scrolls, and that it uses some of those same locations, that it's the same game.
Yeah.
So the innovation is there, and I was kind of, out of everyone, hoping for more from them.
So they talked about Quake as well, right?
Quake Champions, yeah, totally.
I don't know about you, but I thought that the whole, like, talking about Quake Champions was so bad. Like, they're trying to sell it as if it's the next big thing in esports.
Yeah, totally.
And everything they showcased looks like a game that came out fucking 4 years ago.
Yeah.
I was just so unimpressed, and they're showing people, like, blood, sweat, and tears trying to get to this Quake Champions thing, and I was so not convinced. Like,
right.
This is not it. I had like a you know, guys, Gretchen, fetch is never gonna happen. Okay, it's like, guys, Quake is never gonna happen.
Not again, anyway.
This is so not fetch. Okay. I love Mean Girls.
Yeah. It's a good one. Everyone does. Everyone loves that movie.
So yeah, and wasn't there rumors that they're working on this other project as well that's going to kind of bridge the worlds of Fallout, and I don't know.
Rumors of a new IP period, but yes, I forget what it was called. I mentioned it on the pre-show that they're maybe Starfire or something like that.
Or Star fuck something. I don't know.
Yeah. No mention of it at the conference whatsoever, though.
Yeah. So. Oh man.
And if you want to get people excited, you're Bethesda. Just tell them you're working on something new.
Just show me a title screen.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
Mass Effect Andromeda 2 years ago, they showed the logo and like some drawings.
Right.
And that's it. And people got so excited.
Yeah.
And just show me like a stick figurine holding like a sword. And then a logo, and I'll be happy. You know?
Right.
Nothing. Nada. Best part was the beginning of the conference when they were showing the devs' kids.
Oh yeah, no, that was pretty touching for sure.
I was like, oh man, this is gonna be so good. But then it was like 10 minutes long, and that was a third of their conference.
Right. So yeah, that's really all I got on Bethesda.
So what was your high note of Bethesda? Find one.
I'll give them the Evil Within 2. I thought that was... Yeah. It wasn't just a horror for me. Like, there was a lot of just tense moments in that trailer that I felt that it's going to have that atmosphere to it. It may not be just jump scares. It may just have you this dread-ass feeling while you play it. Kind of like how Dead Space did. When you know there's a jump scare coming, and it's almost like it's worse when you round a corner and nothing's there.
Yeah.
Like, it has that kind of feel to it, and I love what that feeling does to me as a gamer while playing, because it's just like, you never feel calm. Yeah. And that trailer can do that, if the game follows through, that'll be cool.
Yeah. No, I agree, and I think, like, again, just such a cinematic trailer.
Mm-hmm.
It looked like it had some original scary stuff. Like, we have so many scary movies and so many scary games now, but the fact that it still showed some original creepy shit where you're like, ooh, ooh, ooh! You know, that's good. It's good that games can still do that to us. So,
yep.
I actually agree that the best part of the conference was the Evil Within trailer.
Yeah.
Not because I want to play it, just because it's a fucking good trailer.
Yeah. No, yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
For me, worst part was that, honestly, that Skyrim was, like, focused on. I don't care that you mention it, but it truly, like, it was still a focus. I get it. It's a good game. I play the hell out of that game. I love Skyrim, too. I literally have a map of Skyrim right above my TV right now. But it shouldn't be at E3 2017. Like, it just shouldn't, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So.
No, and when they showed, like, oh, you're gonna be able to play with, like, the Master Sword and the Hyrule Shield, I was like, oh, I so couldn't care less.
Yes. Oh my god. Sorry, I have to rewind us back. A game that I freaked out about. I completely forgot until just now. Microsoft press conference. Let's rewind a bit.
Oh.
Metro Exodus. Holy crap, am I excited for that.
Damn, that's true.
Sorry, I just had to mention that.
That's okay.
We don't have to talk much about it because there was just kind of a quick trailer of it. But damn, Metro's some good games. Played both 2077 and Redux, and Last Light with the Redux package.
That's the one that had, like, the skinless bear, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
The bear that looked like you went through, like, a fan or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were two of those at E3 this year, and it was so weird.
There was two. There was the bear in Days Gone with, like, the barbed wire around him. Bears were a focus.
Yeah.
E3 2017.
So yeah, Metro Exodus is gonna be cool.
Yeah. No, I'm glad you went back on it because I completely forgot about it. Like I was looking for it actually. I was looking for the conference that had, like, because it started off and you're like, is this a new Fallout?
Right. It had that feel.
It had such a Fallout vibe. I was like, what is this? And then it was Metro's like, okay, cool.
And it looked gorgeous.
It did.
Man, that's so cool. Another, again, Xbox exclusive. Like, awesome. Really, really good job on Microsoft on getting a lot of these titles to be exclusive. But yeah, that's the end of Bethesda for me. Anything else that you wanted to touch on with them?
It is so the end of Bethesda for me.
All right. So next year, we will talk about Skyrim again. Moving on to Ubisoft.
Yeah.
I thought Ubisoft did a pretty okay job.
I think they did. Wasn't my favorite. I thought it was even though they got rid of, like, Aisha Tyler, who is like the eye roller queen of the E3 usually. So glad you did not go with her again this year, guys. Thank you. I was kind of hoping they'd go with, like, another comedian, you know?
Or something like that to keep that vibe, but maybe just not her.
Just bring Terry Crews back.
Yeah, there you go. I will totally say, though, the guys that they chose for the pre-show and post-show were some of the two worst presenters I've ever seen. You didn't see them during the press conference itself, but those guys were struggling. They clearly just were not prepared for the job that they were there to do.
I did not see the pre and post show.
I don't recommend it.
Who was it?
Don't. I don't even know the names of the guys. It was two people that I do not know, but it definitely, you're watching it just kind of cringing. You're like, when does the press conference start?
Oh God! Ooh, that's bad. That's bad.
Yeah, it was pretty rough. So, but the press conference itself, I got a hilarious kick out of when they brought Eves out, and then Miyamoto comes out just with a Rabbids/Mario gun.
Yeah, that was cool, but it was kind of awkward.
It was so awkward, but that's why I got a kick out of it. It was so weird, and two guys, like, with their guns doing one of these and fake shooting each other.
Yeah.
Two guys that clearly get along.
Yes.
But there's such a culture disconnect between both them to each other and them to the audience that it was weird all around.
Yeah.
But I was laughing through the whole damn thing.
I'm sure people were watching this in Japan and they were like, "Wow!" Like losing their shit, you know?
I mean, when he walked through the door, I definitely was like, holy shit. Oh my
Yeah.
God, cool. Like, what a way to lead this conference off.
Yeah.
But the actual presentation of it with them on stage, it's like, oh God.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God.
Agreed.
Looks like a cool game, though. Mario Rabbids looks pretty sweet.
I did not find it looked cool.
No?
No.
I'm so excited about it.
No.
I think introduce that element of comedy with the Rabbids in Mario's world. I'm going to be excited. I'm never going to play it because, if I'm not mistaken, it's a Switch game, right?
Yeah.
Switch only, so I'm never going to be able to play it, but I thought it looked cool.
I don't know. Like, first of all, I hate the Rabbids.
Oh, no!
Oh, they're just...
I gotta hate the Rabbids.
Oh, they're just so, like, try-hard, weird-looking. They're like fugly minions. Like, I don't enjoy them.
They were around before Minions.
I know, but I don't know. I never found like their stuff funny. I just found they're like these awkward little buttless bunnies that kind of look totally retarded, and it's always bothered me. But I get that that's to go appeal to, you know, the kid audience of it and Brutus. But
Yes, it looks awesome. Like, come on.
it just made me want to go play XCOM. I'm like, oh,
But
this is really cute. I'm gonna
that's
go
why-
play XCOM 2 DLC, bitch.
Oh my God, chat brings up such a good point. Like, it's a more fun XCOM. Like,
Totally, that's exactly what I saw. I'm like, ugh. No, I don't know. It just made me want to go play XCOM. Like, I get that, you know.
I'm so surprised because I know how much you actually enjoyed XCOM, that you are not enjoying what this game looks like and is going to bring to the table.
No.
That is actually shocking to me.
I know. I don't know. It's just not doing... I find it's a weird crossover. I do. I think it's very strange. And I also... It's interesting, but it's not... It's a weird crossover, and I understand that they're trying to find new game genres for the Mario universe, but I feel that that's just not one of them that is gonna fit. I'm sure it's gonna be fun, but, like, do you see yourself playing that over and over and over again?
Dude, if I had a Switch, yeah.
Really?
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, I love that
not me.
style of game, though. And if that's the only, like, especially if, A, like, we're probably not going to see XCOM on the Switch. So if that's that only, like...
No.
type,
You never
yeah,
know. Maybe in 6 years from now, we're going to have Xbox... we're going to have XCOM on the Switch, and then we're going to have XCOM in VR, and then we're going to have XCOM with, like, Link skin DLC.
But, I mean, I love that style of game, and Rabbids, I don't know why I get a kick out of them, and I'm not going to ever complain about playing any more version of Mario ever. Ever. So I'm all with it.
I'm not gonna lie, if it was maybe just... I don't know, if it was Mario and Sonic, it maybe would have appealed to me a little more. If it was just the Mario crew, it maybe would have appealed to me a little more. But it just... I don't know, it was just... There was a disconnect in my brain right from the get-go. And I don't know, it was just too much stuff not fitting together in my mind for me to probably accept it. So...
Damn.
Oh, wait, I can't hear you. Wait. Skyrim.
Right?
Skype is bugging. Wait. Your face is frozen like a really funny...
No.
Okay, you're good.
We back?
Yeah, I think we're back.
All right. So, yeah, I think part of the reason why it was that weird disconnect from the start that you said was it was that awkward-ass presentation of it. Like, totally they didn't sell the game.
They didn't... Well, I mean, they set the awkward tone and the awkward mismatch from the get-go. It's like, oh, these are two cultures that are totally different, that are gonna join together for a really cool concept for a game, but it's just kinda maybe gonna work and maybe not. That's not true. I'm sure it's gonna sell. I'm sure it's gonna be super popular. People seem like super excited in the crowd, and people I've talked to, that was one of their highlights for stuff Nintendo or Ubisoft. So cool, but not for me.
Yeah.
I just want to go back and play XCOM and level up a soldier to lieutenant and then have him die.
Right.
Yeah.
Which has happened plenty of times. After Rabbids, I think that's called Kingdom Battle, if I remember right. They went into their VR project that they're working on that I thought looked kind of cool. Like, Elijah Wood seems like a total dick, but...
He always has.
That game, Transference, definitely seems different.
It does. Can't wait to see a bit more.
Yeah.
But it does seem like quite the mind.
Yeah. I feel like they did a lot without showing anything, right?
Yeah.
Like, it was so much concept and background of what is the potential storyline of this game.
Yeah.
But you didn't see a whole hell of a lot of the game in action at all. So
No.
I'm definitely looking for more of that, but the concept of it seems pretty dang cool.
Mm-hmm. But, I mean, there's not too much more to say. It's like, oh, cool concept. We'll see for the next 2 E3s.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right. The Crew 2 came out, which we were all expecting. You know, they already talked about and said would probably be there.
Yeah.
But now, boats, planes, and probably parachutes. Who knows? Like, you're gonna
Everything.
if you install an engine to your parachute and you can race it, then you'll probably race it. I think was the message they were trying to set.
Dude, I can't wait to race a train with a scooter.
Totally.
More Assassin's Creed.
Totally. Yep. We
to
saw
be
more
expected.
Of that.
So
we talked about it. Looks pretty cool.
South Park. I mean, that was another. Woo! Finally, the trailer was funny though.
It was the same trailer.
I know, but it's still funny.
The same one.
It still makes people laugh, right?
I couldn't get excited about it, honestly. Like,
oh no, me neither.
It was so sad because I love South Park. And that whole, like, phone destroyer thing I actually thought was kind of funny that they did later on. But when they played the exact same damn trailer, I'm like, well, now you're not even fucking trying. Come on. Like, really? So I lost some love for that game. I'll probably still get it and probably still play it. But I'm like, what the hell? You didn't even try.
Like, I was excited to, see that they were going to talk about it. Obviously, I don't believe their release date.
They're sticking with October. I'm like, we'll see.
Yeah, that's what we said in 2016.
Right? Yeah.
So, I think since the last time that game was postponed, I've just kind of scratched it off in my mind. Like, it's, I don't know. I'm still gonna play it, but I'm not like looking forward to it particularly. I'm not counting on it in any way. It's gonna be in my library when it's in my library. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that I lost more love for it too, I think, when I saw the exact same trailer with the exact same release date, and I was like, so you haven't done anything new, or otherwise you'd be showing it, but yet you got the same release date here.
But they made a mobile game.
Right, they had time to do that.
The game's been postponed 3 times, but they made a mobile game. But, I mean, the concept of the mobile game did seem funny. I mean, never gonna pick it up and play it because it's a mobile game.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
I got
room for one mobile game in my life. It's called Hearthstone.
Like, I don't know, showcasing any sort of mobile game at these big conferences is always kind of meh to me because, I don't know, someone who plays games strictly on mobile isn't a gamer in my mind.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends. Well, that's not true. You do have a wide variety now, but I don't know. I don't get the whole showing off phone games at big things like this.
Yeah, I'll agree. I think there's plenty of options for phone games. They're just not for me.
Yeah.
Like, totally. We saw more Far Cry 5, which obviously was a huge focus for Ubisoft and seems like maybe behind Assassin's Creed their number one focus right now.
I think it should be.
As far as a franchise goes.
Yeah.
It looks good.
It does.
The co-op aspect of it I thought was great, working with your team on the water tower. I almost wish that would be alluding to more of a multiplayer type concept and really an expansion on that we saw in Far Cry 4.
Do we know how many people co-op it's going to be? Is it still
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. But, I mean, you've got the death from above guy. You had the sniper at the water tower. I can't imagine anyone's going to want to control a dog, but you have the dog. Like, I really want to see what that becomes because I thought that was so cool and how they integrated it in a single-player experience. I mean, literally, it just looked like she clicked on the water tower and boom, up she went. Like, that was it.
Yeah.
It didn't seem like you had to pick a specific spot. They did a really good job of it being broad enough to where you can just work with your team without it being the extent of, if anyone remembers that SOCOM Navy SEALs game where you had to be so overly specific or your team would just rush headlong into battle and get you killed. Like, they've come a long way.
Yeah, no,
cool.
I'm excited for it. I wasn't particularly like wowed by the trailer in any way, but it looked cool.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't like, dude. You know? Very
You know
few
what
dude moments during E3 this year.
But I had one of them right after.
Okay.
So,
Wait, there's two. We didn't talk about Skull and Bones yet.
Skull and Bones for me, I was like, meh. I could take it or leave it.
I just feel like they're trying to just... Oh, Sea of Thieves is a really cool concept. Hey, we had a pirate game. Just revamp that a little. Go!
Yeah. They literally said, they're like, hey, this is the studio that made Black Flag, and they really like pirates, so, I don't know.
Yeah. Pirates are going to be a big thing this year. So, take Assassin's Creed Black Flag, rename it, rebrand it, and cool.
Yes.
It looks exactly like that. It looks exactly like the ships in AC Black Flag. It looks like it plays the exact same way, which was cool because that was a really fun aspect of the game. I thought that was Assassin's Creed Black Flag to date is probably my favorite pirate game. Sea of Thieves could potentially,
dethrone.
Yeah, dethrone. So I don't know Skull and Bones. We'll see. I'd like to get my hands on a beta. That's for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
But Ubisoft, I think, stole the show with this moment. Beyond Good and Evil 2. I am stoked. That game is 14, 15 years in the making. Hell yes.
Yeah.
I mean, the game already got remastered, so you played the original Beyond Good and Evil. If you didn't play it on PS2 or Xbox, you could have downloaded it, I think, last year. It was a Games with Gold title.
Yeah, I have it for that reason, because it was like a Games with Gold title.
Yep. So
never played it.
Great game that failed miserably. Like, miserable sales. Like, huge commercial failure, but still had that cult following that people were still talking about. And I had no idea that they were even working on a sequel to it. Like, yeah, I've talked about it before. Like, man, it would be cool if.
Yeah.
Never did I think it was going to happen just because of what a big, giant-ass failure it was.
Yeah.
But, oh, man, I'm stoked. And that was such a good trailer, too. I loved it.
The trailer was really good. I had no idea what the hell I was watching for the longest time. I was like, oh, this looks really cool. Oh, Space Monkey, awesome. Woo, yeah. What is this? Oh, hey, cool. And then you hear the crowd, like, fucking go wild, and you're like, oh, okay. And then, like, your Twitter feed just, like, explodes BGE2, you know?
Yep.
You're like, okay, this is a big thing.
Yeah. Jesus, I can't put words together for it. That is my single most favorite game of E3 2017.
Oh, yeah?
Beyond Good and Evil 2. Yeah, 100%. I can't wait for more. I really, really hope that it comes out sooner rather than later. However, Michael Ansel, who is also, by the way, guys, the guy that created Beyond Good and Evil, amazing game, is also the creator of Rayman. That same dude. He's a freaking genius. But he went on record and said they're basically like at the egg stage of development.
Yeah.
It is not even close to being a thing right now, so no expectations of a release date anytime soon. But just the fact that now I know that game's being made, I'm so stoked.
Yeah. No, a lot of people were super excited for that. I'm excited to see more. Again, they had a really badass trailer, but same. I didn't get the impression that this was a 2018 game.
No.
At all. So I was like, oh, cool. I'm probably going to see more next E3 and maybe the E3 after that.
Yeah, totally.
But it was like the dream game. Like, you know, when we were talking about games, oh, what would you really like to see? And you're like, oh man, I'd really love to see an Elder Scrolls 6.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was like the dream game for some people. Like, oh man, wouldn't it be great if we got a Beyond Good and Evil?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So definitely. I think that's definitely one of the highlights.
I could keep talking about that for a while, but I won't. I'm just real excited about it.
Yeah, I have nothing more to contribute to this conversation, sadly. I'm sorry.
Did you ever play the first one?
I did not, but I'm excited that you're excited.
Yeah. If you get a chance, play the first one. It's kind of linear, but it's still a great game.
Well, I was asking my chat, and they were saying, well, we're not sure it aged well, so maybe not. So people didn't seem too excited.
They are wrong.
Oh,
chat,
God. Oh,
you're
God.
Wrong.
Damn. He said it, not me.
Game.
I love you guys.
I do too, but I'm here to tell you.
How about you play it and I'll watch your stream?
Oh, there you go.
Get that capture card working, man.
Yeah, oh my God, don't get me started. So other than that, I think there was the Steep expansion that is for the Olympics 2018. Who cares? Like,
yeah, totally.
whatever. Steep,
Yeah.
the original game is probably more fun than this Olympics expansion to me.
So, yeah, and then what we got... Oh, yeah, that's it. That was the Steep thing. There was nothing on Rainbow Six, was there?
No, just that kind of like a sizzle reel trailer, I guess, right before the show where they showed a little bit about Siege.
Yeah.
But, yeah, nothing new. No new content.
Yeah.
Nothing new on the Division. None of that.
I was sure they were going to show... They were going to talk about, like, a new DLC pack for Siege. I was kind of disappointed that they didn't there, because that's still a game that I play, like, actively.
But you know what?
Yeah.
They showcased actual games. So whereas Bethesda was like, we just got expansions for games, Ubisoft was like, hey, we got games, and maybe the expansion's coming. They're just not going to waste time at E3 talking about it.
True.
So.
True.
And that leads us into Sony.
Wait, before Sony, there's something that I didn't put on the list before the podcast for you to talk about. Sorry about that.
No,
Devolver Digital.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Okay, I gotta talk about this. Because this is legit.
That was a weird, insane one.
This is legit one of my highlights of E3. Because it was just so random and so stupid, yet so perfect. Just for the time slot that it had, okay? So, Devolver Digital is just small in studio. They made, like, Hotline Miami. Enter the Gungeon is one of their big games right now. Their time slot was Sunday, like, post-midnight. It was Sunday, like, 2 a.m., basically between Sunday and Monday, 2 a.m. Eastern type thing. It was like so early, so late for some people, and it came right after Bethesda. So it was perfect timing. Basically what they did, everyone was expecting them to actually have a conference, because they do have a good little portfolio of indie games right now, and people love that studio because they really deliver these funny little heartfelt games, And basically it's 15 minutes of like an SNL skit of E3 and what an E3 conference looks like. So they laughed at, like, so many things. They laughed at presenters just throwing those garbage marketing words at you nonstop. They laughed at the early access concept, creating, like, an earliest access thing. They laughed at users commenting negative things even though it's their favorite game, but they can't stop talking smack about it online. Anyways, so it's just a perfect little, like, E3 skit, and it was very humorous and it was very lighthearted.
Almost like an escape from E3 type of deal.
Oh, and it was just so perfect right after the Bethesda time slot, because everyone was just so dragged down from Bethesda.
Right.
Then to see this, I wished I stayed up for it, because I would have gone to bed much less salty. So it's everywhere on YouTube, guys. Just search Devolver Digital E3. I don't want to talk more about it, because you really have to go. It's 15 minutes. Just go watch it yourself. Probably have, like, a shot or a few beers before you watch it.
Perfect. Yes.
Oh man, when the girl's nose just, like, starts bleeding, I'm just, oh my god, I'm dying. It was so funny. It was really funny. So it was great. It was very unexpected. Everyone expecting an actual conference, so the fact that we had this very lighthearted, silly, funny thing was perfect. Anyways, one of my highlights of E3 was that.
Nice.
Yeah. So Sony.
Sorry, what?
Sony.
Oh, I can't hear you. Is the audio not working? Is there technical issues like in Sony's press conference? Jesus. How many times are we going to give an E3 presentation and just see these stupid technical issues crop up every single year?
I was about to restart Skype. I was like, shit, can you not hear me? I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Why can't you hear me?
Like,
oh my god. It's always Sony.
Uncharted trailer.
It's always Sony. It is always Sony that fucks up with tech issues. Why? Why? They all go out drinking the night before. Or, like, it's like, oh, we're selling this great, beautiful new game, but we forgot to buy, like, a DVI output, I don't know. Oh my god. It's so... And it took forever to fix.
A full 2 trailers were completely lost to that.
I'm surprised...
To that garbage.
Yeah, I'm surprised they did not stop. They should have just stopped and replayed Uncharted.
Yeah.
Uncharted is one of their huge games. It's one of the it's like one of the biggest exclusive Sony series. And they started their concert that. Why did they not stop and start it over?
Yeah, I don't understand. I mean, they went back to it at the end for like 3 seconds, but that was a part of their presentation. It's not like they were revisiting it because they knew they screwed up. Like, well, I don't understand. I don't get it. Every time.
I know. And it's like, oh, Sony, bitch, please.
Right. And the whole time after each trailer, too, there was like an awkwardly long pause before the next trailer began. So I was like, oh, okay, maybe they are stopping. Oh, no, they didn't learn. Okay. No, here we go again. Like, it was bad. So new Uncharted. I would love to tell you guys more about it, but I didn't hear anything about it. I just saw the cinematics. That was it. Seems like the main characters are the two ladies that we saw in the trailer. Yeah. Who knows what they were talking about?
All I know is that Laura Bailey, one of my favorite voice actresses, she voices like the main character, and she's awesome. So I actually think that's really cool. So, and I was so sad because it's like, oh man, she's like my favorite voice actress. Like I really wanted to hear her dialogue. And I was like, shit, I can't hear anything. Is it me? And oh god. So yeah, same. Too bad we couldn't hear anything. I mean, visually it looked cool.
It did.
But
I mean, Uncharted always does, though, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's like the Forza.
Yeah.
It always looks good. It always looks amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. What did they follow up with?
That second trailer, I can't even honestly remember what it was because I think I was just.
It was Days Gone. I remember because you couldn't hear the motorcycle, and all of a sudden, like, boop, you hear the rain in the motorcycle.
Yeah. Yep, it picked up. So I liked this look of Days Gone a hell of a lot better than I liked last year's look of Days Gone. The graphics last year left something to be desired, and they clearly have played around with it some more. And we saw a hell of a lot more actual gameplay out of it.
I totally agree. It was so much more different. Just the way you could interact with everything in the environment and kind of control the little zombie horde to go and invade your enemies so you can stealth up. I thought that was like really smart. That was a really cool way of doing it.
The trap setting I thought was cool. Just the ways around the enemies. I definitely thought we saw a hell of a lot better game this year of Days Gone than last year.
And I feel that last year what we showed, it didn't have like the same actor.
No, I think you're totally right.
Because I'm a huge fan of Sam Witwer. Huge fan. Huge Sam Witwer fan. And when I saw, like, a second I saw, you kind of saw his face, I was like, oh, dude, that's Sam Witwer. And I would have noticed that last year because, like, I've seen all of his shows and, like, I follow him on Twitch. He live streams on Twitch.
Oh, nice.
If you guys don't know, twitch.tv/Sam Witwer. Hunky man playing Star Wars games. Because he's a huge Star Wars buff. Huge Star Wars fan.
Nice.
So he's always streaming, like, old school Dungeons and Dragons games and stuff like that.
No kidding.
It's pretty cool.
Stuff.
Yeah, I tune into his channel once in a while. It's pretty cool too because there's only maybe like 200 people max in his channel, so it's not like huge either. It's very nice. If ever you go into his channel, ask him to do like the Christopher Walken impression.
God.
Fucking gold. That being aside, it looked really good. Facial expression, movement. It didn't seem linear. We say it didn't seem linear, but it looked like he was on like a mission or something, so we don't know really. But yeah, it's pretty exciting. Then the bear at the end.
Right.
Another bear. E3 2017 bears.
Axe in its head. It had barbed wire wrapped around it. It was just weird.
Yeah, I was like, how intimidating can a bear surrounded in barbed wire actually be?
Turns out, pretty damn intimidating.
Like, he's gonna get stuck on something at some point. Like, let's face it, at some point, he's gonna be like, and he's gonna, like, topple over. Yeah. That's all I was thinking, but anyways.
Then after that, I think we saw more Shadow of the Colossus.
That was that was a huge surprise for me.
Yeah. Well, they showed that last year, right?
Did they?
Yeah, I'm fairly certain they showed that last year.
Did I miss that? Because I was genuinely shocked. I was like, guys, it's Shadow of the Colossus. I don't remember seeing that last year.
If they didn't see it last year, then I just read way too many things analyzing and guessing that it was coming out because I wasn't surprised. I was like, okay, good, more about it, but I swear that was something that they talked about.
No, they showed last year they showed The Last Guardian, which kind of looks.
No, and I knew The Last Guardian.
Okay.
Definitely, yeah, not getting those two confused.
Okay, because that Eco and Shadow Colossus, they all look alike. It's all like the same art style. So I don't know if you're mixing it up with that. But
so
no.
chat's confirming it is a rebuild and never been mentioned before. Okay.
Okay,
So
I
maybe
was
just
shocked.
read way too many articles about something along the lines of, hey, maybe it's coming.
Oh, maybe. Maybe,
Either
but
way.
I was excited. Have you ever played Shadow of the Colossus?
I've not, but it looked great.
Good game. You should dust off that PS4.
Oh, yeah?
If you've not played Shadow of the Colossus, it's a great super simple game. You're a dude on a horse. There's no dialogue. You go from one spot to the next, and you fight these massive fucking good-looking beasts until you stab them in the brain.
Right.
And that's it. Like, that's like, I think it's really like 10 bosses, one after another. You like ride off to wherever the hell they are in this kind of Zelda-like looking land. You know, you're gonna have the one on the lake, you're gonna have the one in the sky, you're gonna have the one in the mountain, you're gonna have the one near a volcano. You know, you got the one in like a sand pit. But they're all super unique and different, all these bosses. It looks great, and I think they're remastering it as well. Great game. One of my favorite PS2 games.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, I never played. I played a lot of PS2 in my day, but never played that one.
Yeah. That's it. You trash majestic beasts in hope of rezzing your girlfriend. That's it. That's it. It starts like you're crying next to her altar or something, but like you never hear a fucking peep.
Yes.
But
so on that note of Last Guardian, we never saw it.
Because it came out.
The Last Guardian came out?
Where the fuck have you
Did
been?
I miss that?
Yeah.
So, boys and girls, the audio version, I'm going to really work with my partner to make sure this gets edited out. That's how little I've plugged in my PS4.
Yeah, it came out. Didn't it come out like fall
September?
of last year?
Yeah.
I don't even own a PlayStation.
I think it was like a September release. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay,
I don't even own a PlayStation.
Moving on.
Cut.
Said moving on. Oh my goodness.
Just move on.
To what?
What do you mean to what?
I'm kind of stuck on this Last Guardian thing.
Horizon Zero Dawn DLC.
Yep. They did show more of that. That's a game that I haven't played.
Yeah.
But I hear good things about. People seem to really, really enjoy it.
Yeah.
More of a good game is never a bad thing. Except
That's true. It looked cool because I know the base game, like from what I've seen, the base game kind of plays more like a foresty kind of land, you know? And this one goes up in like the snow mountains, which is pretty cool. And the whole color scheme and everything, it looks really good. It looks really good. All right, moving on. I stumbled on words there. We're getting tired, guys.
Right. So I'm going to skip ahead because the next one that I really want to talk about was actually the last game they showed. Showed an extended look at Spider-Man.
All right, I'm going to backtrack after that to other games they showed.
Okay, you go right ahead. But Spider-Man looks amazing.
Spider-Man looks so good.
So made by Insomniac, the same people who made Sunset Overdrive, a game that I was super, super fond of. It definitely hurts my heart to see that developer jumping ship from making an Xbox exclusive game to making a PS4 exclusive game.
Yeah.
In the end, I don't really care because if I want to play Spider-Man, I will go buy it and actually plug in my PS4.
Well, Spider-Mans have often been exclusive to PlayStation.
So, yes, totally. Yeah, definitely.
It's not like a developer exclusive thing to PlayStation. It's like a character exclusive thing to PlayStation.
I believe Sony owns the rights to Spider-Man, right? Like, that is a thing.
Yeah.
So it's not surprising. But it's just surprising that Insomniac was able to make that game.
Yeah. I enjoyed it's like 8 minutes because I watched it like 3 times. I enjoyed the 8 minutes that we saw more than I have enjoyed a Spider-Man movie since Spider-Man 2.
Nice.
With Sam Raimi.
Yep.
Yeah, I have not enjoyed just like a Spider-Man fight scene or action scene or chase scene as much as I enjoyed this 8 minutes.
And they were all so incredible, right? Like that fight scene where it was completely interactive. It didn't feel like just a button pressing scene where you just have to time it right. Like it was all fluid and all in one motion. It definitely felt like the Arkham games where you're stringing together combos, but just a lot more tools at your disposal because you're using the environment so much more.
Yeah.
I thought that was awesome. The scene with the helicopter was freaking incredible.
And like the crane falling.
Yeah.
Dude, when the crane was falling, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like whoever's making the movies now needs to sit with whoever the fuck made that action sequence.
Right.
Because if we could have a movie that had the same originality and like chaos factor and cool Spider-Man moves as we did in that segment of the trailer, I will actually go see the movie, because I don't even know if I want to go see Spider-Man Homecoming right now, you know? And Spider-Man's one of my favorite characters, so this was one of the ones I was most looking forward to for E3.
Yep, and it felt like one long, beautiful cutscene, but the whole time it was gameplay. Like, you were stringing together the combos, you were controlling the character. I think even when like you were shooting the web to like save the helicopter, you were still running and moving yourself. Like, that wasn't all just done for you. Yeah. So it wasn't a bunch of QTEs. Like, you were doing it, and that was just so well done.
Yeah, it looked like a really smooth transition between gameplay, cutscene, and minigame. Just kind of all that seemed to bounce one after another. There was one part in the trailer, though, where you noticed that it was actually cut. So this wasn't a live gameplay. This wasn't a live demo, right? So it looked like really smooth transitions, but then again, you don't know, because they can just cut it out so that it looks really smooth. That's editing, guys, it was a video, so I don't think we can count on that as much, but for when he was actually fighting and everything, it looked really good.
Right.
Yeah. Also, we're getting Miles Morales as Spider-Man.
Yeah, that was cool. That last-minute reveal of it.
I was like, oh, nice touch. I like it. I like it. So yeah, overall, that was very cool. Mm-hmm. Spider-Man, definitely one of the highlights. So I'm surprised. God of War.
Yeah, I just, again, I saw God of War last year at E3. You know, like,
True. I don't know.
I mean, I like the more, like, father-son dynamic. I like the dialogue that they had back and forth, like the cursed child thing, the you don't want me, which it's Kratos. He probably doesn't, let's be honest.
Let's face it.
But I like that they're making Kratos a more nuanced character and giving him some wrinkles of character versus Hulk Smash.
Yeah.
But
it's basically God of War Babysitter Edition.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. It looks cool when that
War.
Dad of War, like when that whole like big snake came out at the end, it looked pretty cool and everything. But yeah, same. We got a bit of gameplay. The moves that he has with the axe, it looks very cool. Looks much different from his usual chains, right?
Right.
So the combos look good. The thing that struck me the most in the God of War is the camera angle. So much different than other God of War games. Normally, you're a lot farther from Kratos when he's playing. This one, you're like right over his shoulder almost. Yeah, I like that you're much more like into the gameplay.
Honestly, it's funny you say that, because now that you bring that up, that just makes the transition to VR that much easier now, right? We're gonna see God of War VR next year.
Whatever. I don't know what you expect my reaction to be, but I'm just so salty about everything VR right now, because God. Anyways, I was like, for the amount of VR stuff that was shown during everything E3, none of it like blew my mind. Like last year when they talked about Resident Evil 7 in VR, I was like, damn. Now like nothing was, I don't know. Nothing was kind of wow VR for me this year.
Yeah, I think the coolest VR experience was that the Ubisoft title, just because it was new. Everything else is like, True. Oh yeah, I played that game. Now I get to play it in VR. Okay, sure. But the new IP that they brought to the table, I thought Transference was the name. Was the most interesting.
Yeah. Last one on Sony, which I'm also surprised didn't strike you, because, damn, like Detroit.
Yeah.
No.
We talked about it on the pre-show.
But we knew nothing on the pre-show. We knew like literally nothing about the game.
Well, we knew what we saw last year.
We saw a robot in the streets. That's it. We knew fuck all about the game. We know so much more.
It looks so much more like I can't judge it because it's probably still like gonna change. I just feel like they went so over the top now. Like they're channeling the Westworld TV show. It feels like, and I've already been there and seen that, and I don't know. It feels so like Michael Bay's Westworld.
But I don't know, the whole like picking, your dialogue type options and your actions having impact all throughout like the rest of the game and stuff like that. That doesn't. intrigue you? No?
No, I mean it does. Like, don't get me wrong. It's just and it's probably because Sony was the last conference I watched, and I just had been beaten down with like nothing new, nothing new. I've seen this before, and now like there's just like one more game that I'm like, oh yeah, I know that game's coming.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not that I don't like it, and I'm not like trashing it. It just didn't hype me up because it wasn't new. I guess this year I was probably got my hopes set too high, but I was just looking for newness, and I didn't really get what I wanted there.
Newness.
I
was.
Yeah, that's it.
I was really excited actually because for one we knew nothing about the game, so and it looked great. But then again, I mean every game we've talked about so far, let's just assume that everything looks great, okay?
Yeah.
From now on, let's just assume that everything's like wow, visuals.
It's 2017, it kind of has to.
Right? Right? Even though it's Skyrim VR, it's still Skyrim. But like I find it looks great. It looks so story driven, and I'm all my favorite games are story and character driven games. So that's why this is very intriguing to me. And I think the combo of Detroit, Spider-Man, and God of War are what kind of sold me on picking up a PlayStation this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really like the triple threat there. Days Gone, not so much. I mean, it looks good, but it's not what would sell me on a new console.
Right.
But Spider-Man, God of War, Detroit Become Human, those triple threat there is I want to buy a PS4 more than I want to buy an X1X.
Well, it's funny you should mention that because I hear there's a 1 terabyte gold version for only $250 right now.
Yeah, it's not $250 in Canada.
Is it $350?
It's like it's like $300. Then they're all sold out, so it's like $350.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So yeah.
You should just travel across the border and bring that thing back home with you.
Yeah, I'm just gonna like stuff it under the seats and like smuggle it over. Because I'm sure no one is smuggling over hardware from the States right now, and they're totally not checking that because of the price exchange.
Right.
Good plan. Snooze in prison 2017. So yeah, so I am, after the conference itself was kind of, I don't want to say it was sloppy. For one, the guy who presents for PlayStation, president or whoever he is so bad at presenting.
Yeah.
He's so awkward and bad. Every time he tries to make a joke, and then people don't like clap, so he kind of like, huh? And he kind of like goes back on it, and people are like, ah, like you don't got it, dude. You're not Phil Spencer. You don't got it, man.
Well, like, and that's like, you don't have to be a Phil Spencer to present the games. Like, I look back to the Ubisoft press conference, the creative director for Far Cry, that dude can present a game. And he does it so well. And I think he hyped that game up more just himself as much as the looks of that trailer. But yeah, the Sony executive, man, pick someone else.
I know. I couldn't agree more. I totally forgot to change the image to PlayStation this whole time. Sorry, but yeah. So it's like I don't know. I don't know. I'm really excited by the PlayStation titles. It was very. I don't want to say breathtaking. I just want to say it literally like. It was boom, 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 boom. It was like one conference after the other. You know, there's like no room to breathe. Like it was cool because it was so much about the games, and that's how we sold it at the beginning. It's like this year, it's nothing but the games. Nothing but the games. It's just we're gonna like play one reel, and it's gonna be like one after the other. Just go. Yeah. So, but I don't know. You didn't have any time to breathe between trailers. Just like it was like one after the other, and then boom, it was done.
Yeah.
But I thought it was a good conference overall. I think the games showcased overall. It had a really good variety of games, and I'm excited about a lot of the exclusives on PlayStation, more than I'm excited about some of the exclusives other than the indie titles on Xbox if you're comparing the two consoles. Mm-hmm. But it's just so technically flawed.
Yeah, oh my god. I that's
So yeah. So my favorite games bundle for AAA titles would have been PlayStation.
Oh, I agree. I would agree with that.
But yeah, you gotta hire better tech guys. Oh man. And Nintendo.
Yes, last conference of the conference, I guess.
I know. So Nintendo, all about Mario.
Yeah.
What are you
I
saying?
mean, I
Go.
I don't have a lot to talk about with Nintendo
Really?
because it's not anything that I'm gonna play because I don't have a Switch. I don't have any sort of console to play any of these games.
So there was nothing on there that could potentially make you want to buy a Switch?
No.
Don't hurt yourself.
I know. I'm like it was. Yeah, no. What did you? I want to hear your thoughts. I've talked way too much.
I mean, Rocket League is going to the Switch, so you should want that.
Yeah, I already got it. Like, I can play people on the Switch, which is cool. Like, awesome that Nintendo and Xbox are working together.
Yeah.
Sony, get your shit together because you should not be the only console holdout there.
We're going to bring this up. Okay, we're going to talk about this. We can talk about it in, like, a future podcast as well, but what the fuck is wrong with Sony this year? Why are they being such a-holes?
Did you see an executive went on the record and basically said, we do it for the security of our gamers. Sony essentially believes that cross-platform play is less secure
gonna kill
and
them.
Puts people at risk, yes. And Phil Spencer, for all intents and purposes, interviewed with Giant Bomb and said that's total bullshit, basically. They're full of garbage. They do everything from the family settings of the Xbox and all of the security features that they have. There is no possible way that could even hold water, that it's not a secure way to play.
Not to mention, if anything, Microsoft Nintendo shouldn't want to play with Sony because their servers are in there. Everything is always crashing, and they're always getting hacked. So if anything, Microsoft Nintendo should be like, we're going to cross-play. We don't want to touch that insecure garbage.
Yeah. So I don't understand that at all.
Basically they got like bugs in their system and they don't want to infect the other the other people. That's why, because then it'll just be the other consoles bashing on their security. Anyways, that and the whole like Destiny parody thing, which is this whole other thing of, I don't know if it's Sony or if it's Bungie doing it, but why you're forcing like a more powerful console to dumb it down so that Sony can have, equal stuff. It's just, anyways, that was messed up as well.
Yeah, I don't even know. I don't get it. No. I think Sony has just such a market share this generation that they can kind of do what they want. And, they've earned that, I suppose. But I still think it's a flawed way of thinking because, again, you should be about all gamers regardless of your platform.
Yeah, they're really siloing themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And everything's about community nowadays. Mm-hmm. If a community is like mad at you, you're gonna feel it. If you're integrating different communities, they're gonna support each other.
Yeah.
So it's a very silo way of thinking, and it's surprising.
Yeah.
They're just, it's all popping up at E3, right? Because all that stuff comes out at E3. Anyways, Metroid Prime 4.
Okay.
I have played a Metroid game. I played Metroid Prime. Not a huge fan. However, I know a lot of people that are happy. I think a Metroid series revamp is something that Nintendo fans have been pushing for a while and have been hoping for a while. So I know a lot of people that are very happy with the new Metroid. And all they had to do was show like a title screen.
Yeah, right.
And that's it.
And I think it does need to be a revamp, though, because, again, like Metroid Other M and a lot of the latest Metroid titles just didn't do it for a lot of people. And Metroid is such an influential game in all of gaming because, I mean, you hear the term Metroidvania for a reason. Like, they introduced so many mechanics and so many elements of gaming, like the go back, the double jump, like shit like that never happened before, that they cannot continue to just put out swill for all intents and purposes. Like, they need to really knock it out of the park now.
Yeah. No, yeah. So a lot of people are excited about that. What else we got Nintendo? I mean,
new Xenoblade. I mean, that's definitely a big title for a lot of people.
That's a big series for them as well. It is.
Yep.
We got a Metroid coming to 3DS. There's a Pokemon RPG for Switch that's in development. I think that's pretty excited. I've actually been waiting for a Pokemon open world, hopefully open world. I don't know if it's just RPG or if it's going to be open world as well, but I've been hoping for like this type of Pokemon experience, but I mean it's still in development. It's so far down the line, like they couldn't show fuck all. So
exactly, it was mostly just talk. Who knows what that will turn out to be? I've kind of emptied my heart of all hope of a true Pokemon game coming to any sort of console.
Yeah.
If they follow through with it, that'd be cool.
Yeah, and it's a good time that they mentioned it. I'm glad that all they had to do was mention it because Pokemon is so hot right now.
Yeah.
So hot right now. We're still living off the Pokemon Go wave and the Sun and Moon wave right now.
Yeah.
So and my friends at work who have kids, I mean their kids are all over Pokemon right now. So it's big. So it's a good time to say that we're working on it. There's more coming to the Pokemon universe because that's just going to kind of pre-sell it, right?
Yeah. Of course. Just stamping that title on it for sure.
Yeah.
Did you hear that Skyrim's coming to the Switch? Did they mention that already?
No.
They mentioned it again.
What?
Yeah, in case you missed that.
We gotta go buy one right now.
Oh yes, let's do it. I mean, like honestly, if there's any one thing that I am more excited if we're gonna talk Skyrim, it's cool as shit that it is on the Switch and it's a portable title. Just like Breath of the Wild, like those types of games you don't get to take portably. It's not possible, but the Switch actually does make that a reality, and that is kind of cool. So if there's any one thing about Skyrim that I'm not annoyed with, it is, wow, you did get it portable on the Switch. That's cool.
Wouldn't a new Elder Scrolls been cooler on the Switch, though?
A million times over, yes. A million times over.
Yeah. But, I mean, yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm.
New Yoshi, new Kirby. Nothing new there. You know, we get a new Yoshi, new Kirby every few years now, so that's all cool. But, I mean, if you tell me right now you were not impressed by Super Mario Odyssey...
of course I am.
I was like, I'm gonna have to go through the screen and punch you or something.
Yeah, I'm not gonna make the mistake of buying a console for one game because I did that with my PS4 and Rocket League, and then hey, look where that got me. It's unplugged. But yeah, it looked incredible. It looked like an awesome game. Totally open world. So many he goes into a modern world and it deals with humans in New York City at one point. That was such a cool ass looking game.
I don't know how much coding or whatever they had to do to be able to let you throw your hat on anything and become anything.
Yeah.
That's a shit ton of work. It really is, because each thing has its own ability, right? Each thing is gonna have its own use in this world. So I really feel like they're revamping Super Mario 64 like they revamped Zelda on console. So I'm really glad that it's really getting the oomph that it deserves, because even Super Mario Galaxy, I don't know, it wasn't. I don't know. It didn't click with me.
Don't start hating on Galaxy.
I'm not hating on Galaxy. I'm just saying it didn't click to me. It didn't click with me as much as Super Mario 64 did. Super Mario 64 is has a chunk of my soul. I played that game over and over and over when I was a kid.
Right.
And I haven't had a Mario game since that's done that.
Yeah. I mean, Odyssey, it wasn't a surprise. Obviously, we knew it was coming. They had already talked about it.
Yeah.
But it looked super great.
Yeah. No, that's it. Honestly, it's also one of the best trailers. It's honestly one of the best trailers of E3 as well.
Yep. We saw more of a glimpse of ARMS, which is super, super, super duper close to release. God, what else did we see? A quick sizzle reel of some other games too that are coming out shortly.
I mean that's pretty much the main ones, right? For Nintendo. Yeah. That's the big stuff right there. I mean, we know that we're getting a Splatoon 2 eventually as well.
Yeah. Follow-up sequel to that. That's true.
We're getting Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild DLC.
That's right.
Which is going to be part of the expansion pass, so that's actually pretty cool as well. I don't know. I'm going to have to, see a review, see if it's worth kind of going back to the game, because I know there's going to be another DLC after, so maybe I'll just wait till both DLCs are out and go back once,
Right.
Because backlog.
I mean, we accept that as gamers. It will never go away.
But yeah, overall, I thought Nintendo was actually pretty good. It was less less awkward and random than it has been before.
It was a lot more straightforward.
Yeah,
which I can appreciate.
Yeah, I'm surprised that we didn't get a Smash. No?
Yeah. No, I mean, I am not surprised only because they usually don't release it alongside a new console. Like, they usually take a year or two. Like, Smash didn't release directly after the 64. Smash didn't release directly after... Well, I guess with the Wii it did. But I think that might be the only console where it was like, within 6-7 months, we heard about new Smash. So... I know they're working on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone knows they're working on it. They don't even need to say it. We know it's coming because it's like Mario Kart. Like, they couldn't really make a new Mario Kart for Switch. They just gave you, like, that Ultimate Edition or whatever of Mario Kart 8.
Yeah.
But
it's just Smash is a console seller, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Smash is a console seller, and it can be for Switch. So I don't know if they're giving all these kind of new games time to come out so that they can use them. Like, I'm sure we're gonna have like an ARMS character in the new Smash. I'm sure that we're gonna have, you know, the revamped Zelda in the new Smash, the Mario with the eyeballs on the hat in the new Smash, Splatoon in Smash. Now I'm sure we're gonna have like a bunch of the new Nintendo Universe characters in there.
Yeah.
So maybe they're just waiting for more of these little games to shine to.
And God knows, every amiibo under the universe is going to give you an extra character in Smash.
Amiibos are like Nintendo's wannabe Funko Pops.
Right. Totally. At least with Amiibos, you get to do something with them.
That's true. Dude, okay, we both have like 3 levels of shelves behind us with Pops on them, so we can relate to the Amiibo fanatic thing.
That top shelf alone is just Fallout.
There you go.
That's it.
Damn. A game you'll be able to play in VR. So,
oh, you know it.
That was the last conference.
Mm-hmm.
I think we need a best of real quick. We need a best of, guys. We're gonna blitz this end of the podcast.
So the best moment of E3 for you?
Oh my God, that's like going to like movie of the year from the get go.
Okay, fine. Just best conference of overall.
No, that's the best director.
Okay. Biggest disappointment.
Okay, biggest surprise. We'll start with that.
Beyond Good and Evil 2, totally for me.
Yeah, that was your biggest surprise?
Yeah, hands down. Didn't see it coming.
I think for a lot of people, that's going to be the biggest surprise for them. I would have to say, I was actually not expecting a remaster of Shadow of the Colossus.
Yeah, apparently I was, and I shouldn't have been. So that probably should have been a surprise for me.
Biggest surprise! They didn't show The Last Guardian.
God. I'm always going to screw something up in a podcast. I mean, you know, it is what it is.
So yeah, Shadow of the Colossus remaster, I was not expecting that. So I think that's very cool.
All right. What about the opposite? What is the biggest disappointment?
Biggest disappointment? Oh man, Bethesda.
Yeah, that was a bad one.
Yeah, I think just the I hyped up that conference so much, and I had such high expectations. So my biggest expectations for E3 as a whole were supposed to come from that conference. So I think that's why it was such a letdown for me particularly.
Right.
But
right.
So I'm just gonna say Bethesda as a whole.
I don't want to give them a pass on that because they were extremely disappointing, and like I put them up there. But I think that was just one screw up for E3 and for them, but the overall lack of new IP for me, like
as E3 as a whole,
yeah, as a whole, no one brought that much new to the table. If they brought something new, that was it. Like, it was one thing maybe here, there. I can't get over it. That was the thing that I think dragged E3 down for me this year as one of the, I don't want to say worst, but one of the least impressive E3s for me as a gamer.
Yeah, because all the new IPs that we knew about, we already knew about like last year. So I think truly the only really new IP is Anthem. Yeah. It's like the only one. Right. I mean, sure, we're gonna have some new like little indie titles, but that's always in the works. But the only new AAA title that no one knew about was Anthem.
Yeah, any other new IP we've seen before. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So overall, favorite game?
Fave game is a toss-up between Anthem and Spider-Man.
Oh, man, I'm not letting you off the hook that easy.
Okay.
I'm going to make you pick.
I'm going to have to say Anthem, just because...
Ooh!
Yeah, I'm going to have to say...
new IP.
Because new IP and because BioWare's my baby.
I was tossed up between the same. I went with Spider-Man.
And you went for Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Oh,
I know all
really?
my bitching about the lack of new IP, and I choose an IP that we've seen before, but it's Insomniac. I'm already super excited about that, and I just didn't see enough about Anthem yet. I'm excited about it, but if I have to choose one game now that I want to play right now, it is Spider-Man.
Yeah. And that makes sense. I just know that Spider-Man is gonna be like a sit down, play through it experience, and then it's gonna be over. However, I know that I'm gonna be able to get hours and hours and hours of fun with friends from Anthem. So that's why I'm super excited.
I can get on board with that too.
Yeah.
Totally.
So Anthem for me, same top two. That's pretty funny though, because like we said, we legit did not speak before this. Same top two.
Yeah.
Both of which got a lot of best of E3s. Assassin's Creed Origins was actually up there for me, surprisingly, because I was so over with the Assassin's Creed series.
Yeah.
But I'm a sucker for the whole Egyptian thing, so Assassin's Creed was probably up there for me as well.
Yeah, like I said, I'm more excited about Assassin's Creed than I've been in a long time, so I can agree with you there too.
Yeah.
Overall, best conference. Who won E3?
Oh, I hate
Besides
that.
us gamers, of course.
I hate that who won E3 thing, but
Right.
best conference has to go to Xbox, in my opinion.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
God, I want to... It's a toss-up for me between Microsoft and Ubisoft. I'm going to give Microsoft the edge, only because that awkward exchange between Yves and Miyamoto was so bad.
Oh my God.
As far as presentations go, like, that was really rough. I can't believe no one stood up in that conference room and was like, hey, this is a bad idea. We shouldn't do this. Let's do something different. Like,
but
yikes.
yeah, the one I enjoyed the most was definitely Microsoft, because it had a more natural flow. I mean, maybe, no, not even. I mean, it had a more natural and a more fun flow.
Yeah.
You know, Microsoft, I mean, you had some big titles, the big ones that you're used to seeing, and then you had like their ID showcase. You had some other people come on stage, talk about the games. Phil Spencer giving you some spiel again, and then we had like the big ones at the end.
Yeah. I mean, they brought Scorpio to the table, right? Like, they gave us the details on that. They brought 42 games to the conference. That was huge. Some AAA, some indies, 20-some exclusives to that console.
Like, they showed 42 games.
Bomb dropping. Like,
Yeah.
from a sheer volume standpoint and what they brought to the table, Microsoft, I think, did more than anybody else.
Yeah. They showed 42 games and new hardware and a fucking car.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
And
said, by the way, some of your most beloved original Xbox games you can play again.
Yeah.
Like, that they did really well.
Yeah, no, they touched base on everything. And Sony didn't show any hardware.
No.
I'm surprised. Like, not even like a new controller. Like, they're not even doing anything to go against, like, the Xbox Design Lab, you know? Or, like, the Elite
that
controller.
Does surprise me.
Why don't they have their own Elite controller? Like, why aren't they doing anything hardware? I don't know. It's like they're putting all their energy into the PSVR.
Right. Yeah, I mean, technically, that's really the only hardware they showed off, right? Like, they gave you the little PSVR demo and all that jazz, but it wasn't new hardware by any means.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So, yeah.
All right.
I think
that is E3 2017. I'm not going to rate it overall. I mean, I've got feelings up or down. There were hits, there were misses. It was one of the, for me, least impressive E3s, I'll be honest.
Definitely not one of the best E3s. I remember 1 or 2 E3s ago, we had so many new IPs. It was like, actually, that was like, sorry for the Skype thing. That was like, I think that was the summer after the new consoles launched, you know?
Right.
So that's when they had no choice but to give us like a shit ton of new IPs and stuff.
Yeah.
So it made sense that it came out then. Now we're in the late game for these consoles.
Yeah, so, it's scary to think about, but we are. Like, I mean, console cycles generally have only lasted about 8 years. The Xbox and PS4 are about 4 years old, guys. It's crazy. So we are over halfway through coming up on this year.
Yeah.
At the longest. So the Xbox One X, while it is a huge step up, you're only probably looking at like a 3 to 4 year window before the new wave of consoles come out, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, no, soon. I mean, Nintendo has their new one out. We have a new X1X, but it's an extension to the family, so who knows how long it's gonna stay before the next big thing comes out.
Yeah.
But I mean, some exciting stuff, some funny stuff, some cringy stuff, some surprising stuff. Still got the same mix of emotions that we usually get.
Yeah.
So
totally.
yeah.
Well, thank you guys all so much for tuning in, especially this weird Thursday night. We had to bring it to you. We had to give you the E3 post-show podcast with our feelings.
While it was fresh in our mind, you know?
Yeah, and I love that we didn't even have a discussion about this beforehand, because there were a couple of moments there like, I'm sorry, you don't love rabbits? What the fuck? Like, unacceptable.
Sure.
But thank you all for tuning in live or listening to our recording. If you want to find our old recordings, our previous podcasts, you're going to find them on SoundCloud or iTunes under Good Game Geeks. If you want to follow myself, you can find me at BrutusForce21 on Twitter, as well as Brutus Force Gaming on Twitch. As far as Snooze, you can find her on Twitter under Snooze_Gaming, as well as Onyx_Snooze-A-Lot on Twitch. It's a lot of taglines that you've got to remember and say. But thank you again. We're the Good Game Geeks. I hope you guys all had a blast, and we will catch you on the next podcast.
See you later, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.